Hey, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact 4-part email sequence I wrote for my software client that generated them 66 demo leads. By the end of this video, you will know the exact copy I used in the sequence. And also, probably the most important part is I'll show you the marketing philosophy slash thinking I used behind the sequence that helped it to be so effective. Okay, so before I actually show you the copy for the email, let me walk you through my thinking or the marketing principle behind the email sequence that helped it to become so effective. So as you can see in this diagram over here, you got a smiley face person. And that smiley face person is your prospect. And here's the thing, your prospect over here, right, smiley face dude, they want to achieve a certain goal. But oftentimes between them, where they are and where they want to go, which is their goal, there is a gap, right? And oftentimes the prospect, to achieve their goal, they think they need one thing, but in reality, they need something else, right? So there's a gap. There's an educational gap between where the prospect wants to go and where they are, and they think this one way will help them get there. So for example, let's say your prospect is a job seeker. I don't know, you provide career coaching services, software around careers, whatever it may be, a job board, right? Your prospect is a job seeker. They want to get a job, right? And so they think they have to apply online countless hours of the day, just applying online to get a job. But really what they actually need to do is LinkedIn networking, right? That's a more effective way to get a job, and maybe your product or service is around helping job seekers land jobs through networking, right? So there's an educational gap here. They think it's one way, but in reality, the way to actually get the goal, which is in this case a job, they actually have to do it this way, which is LinkedIn networking. Let me show you a couple more examples. So let's say you're a fundraiser, right? You work, your target audience, your prospects, they work in nonprofits and their job is to secure more donations. So they like cold call people, ask for donations, all that stuff, right? The fundraisers, they want donations. So what do they think they have to do to get those donations, which is their goal? They think they have to go on Google and fill in Excel sheets of contacts and call all day to achieve their goal, which is donations. But what they really need, the new way of getting donations, is using an advanced CRM of some sort so they can track all these contacts that they're reaching out to using software rather than paper, pencil, Excel sheet, and Google, which is very tedious, right? And so this green arrow thing over here, right? Let's call it the new way your prospect should think to achieve their goal. Now, oftentimes, here's the kicker, the new way is just your product slash service. In other words, your product slash service is just the vessel that embodies the new way. So what you really need to do is educate your prospect on the new way of doing things. So keep in mind, I'm not saying like, hey, you gotta sell your product and service. No, instead you need to educate your prospect on the new way to achieve their goal, and your product slash service embodies that new way. All right, so keep that in mind, because when we go into the actual email sequence, you'll see that I use this element frequently in the 4-part sequence along with a few other things, but this was a big thing that I used in the sequence itself. Okay, we're just about getting to the emails, but I need to give you some quick context first here, okay? So I was subcontracting under a marketing agency called Powered by Search, right? And one of their clients is a software tool, and the software helps nonprofits secure more donations by providing their fundraisers, in this case I'll call them sales reps, with software and AI tools that help them find quality donors and secure donations faster. So basically, nonprofits, they need more donations. And so they have these, I'll call them sales reps. And these sales reps are so used to the old way of doing things where they use Google and Excel and a piece of paper and phone calls to reach out to people and be like, hey, do you want to donate? Hey, do you want to donate? Hey, do you want to donate, right? Absolutely extremely tedious, time consuming, and it's a slow process. And because it's a slow process, they secure less donations and make the company or the nonprofit less money. And that's where my client's tool comes in. They're a software and AI tool that makes the entire process so much better. So the client came up to me and they were like, hey, Alif, we have a huge list of emails that we collected from a trade show that we were doing. Okay? These contacts that we collected, they aren't too familiar about what we do, and the whole idea of using some sort of technology to help them secure more donations is a new concept for them. Take this list, Alif, and convert them into demos for our software so we can make more money. That's essentially what they told me to do. Now, the key here is that it is a cold list. So this list didn't know much about my client's tool, or that the fact that you can literally use AI and software to make your outreach process to collect more donations much easier. So before I started drafting up the emails, I was thinking about it. Okay, they need a lot more education on this new way of basically securing more donations. And right now, at the moment, these reps are using Google and Excel to source donations, which is extremely tedious, time-consuming, and it's a slow process, so they secure less donations. In other words, they don't make as much money as they could. And so I came up with 3 new way of thinking that these people should be educated on, so much so that that'll make them go like, hey, if I adopt these new way of thinking, I'll actually secure more donations, and this entire process of collecting donations is going to be much easier. And so those 3 new way of thinking are the following. First, you got to use an online database that'll help you find high net worth contacts so you avoid wasting time on those who are unlikely to donate. You got to use an AI tool that predicts the likelihood of someone donating. So you should only focus your effort on them. Because what's the point of reaching out to people who are least likely to donate? You have to track a contact's donation history and interests to not only determine the best outreach strategy, but also gauge their willingness to donate to your nonprofit. So if you're a nonprofit and you're focused on animals, it makes sense to reach out to people who are rich and love animals, right? That just makes sense. If I can get someone here, these reps who use Google and Excel and they're so caught up in their own ways, if I can get them to believe these 3 things over here, then it makes sense that they'll be like, oh, I need your tool because your tool actually does all these things, right? The client's tool actually does all these things. So I basically turn the features of the client's tool into new ways of thinking that would essentially convert them to saying, hey, I want your tool. And so when it came to the 4-part email sequence, when I was writing the 4 emails out, I used all these elements sprinkled into the emails along with a case study or 2 to essentially generate 66 demo leads. And what I mean by demo leads is are people who clicked on the demo page link. All right, so keep all that in mind because you'll see I use this concept of new way thinking in the emails themselves. Now, let's get into the actual emails. Email number 1, I'll read them word for word. The subject line is why you're losing thousands in donations. When someone who's literally collecting, their job's to collect donations, when they read that, why you're losing thousands in donations, it makes them go like, whoa, why am I losing thousands in donations, right? It captures their attention, essentially. The sender of this will be the CMO/CEO, and this is what the email reads. The first email. Hi, contact name. Manually scrolling through databases to secure donors can be a pain. Because what they do at the moment is they manually go through all these databases to find donors. It's tedious work, and on top of that, you could be losing out on thousands of potential donations because you're missing valuable information about a donor's wealth and philanthropic history. So what's the solution? Use software that lets you screen multiple databases simultaneously, allowing you to get the most ROI for your time. So basically what I'm saying is, you're using databases wrong. Instead, you should be using multiple databases at the same time so you can speed up the entire process, which our software allows you to do. So at this point, you can see like we're educating them on the new way of going about things. With client software, and I signed NDAs and stuff, so I can't reveal the client's name. With client software, you can search multiple databases simultaneously or do individual lookups within over 40 datasets, including CoreLogic, ZoomInfo, and VeriGift to learn more about your prospects and donors, right? So these tools over here, someone whose job is to literally collect donations probably are very familiar with these tools, okay? This means you will reach your fundraising goals faster, lessen the tedious nature of prospecting, having more time for cultivation and engagement, right? So if you do it this new way, if you do things in this new way, you will achieve these results. You can click here if you're curious to see how it works. And basically this led to one of our feature pages. Email number 2, the power of intelligence software. Hi, contact. Finding donors or corporations who want to donate to your cause without intelligence software is like navigating a dark room without a flashlight. By not having the right intelligence software to help you, you will spend needless time on prospects who don't have any affinity to your cause, ask prospects for the wrong donation amount, and spend countless hours on non-revenue generating admin tasks. Client software solves exactly that. Our software lets you filter prospects based on their affinity to your cause, so how likely they're likely to donate to your cause, how much they can donate, and which foundations they've previously donated to. The new way of going about it. You can click here to learn more about our wealth and company screening features. And then this hyperlinks to one of the feature pages of the client's website. Let's go to the next one. How to get more donors, free ebook for healthcare nonprofits. So this email sequence was basically sent to healthcare professionals. Hi, we want to give you a special gift. It's our Mastering Fundraising Intelligence ebook for healthcare professionals. This ebook will show you the secret behind effective personal donor outreach, how to ask for the right donation amount from every donor, tactics to increase your monthly giving revenue, and more. This is a must-read for healthcare organizations looking to increase revenue. Click here to download the ebook now, right? These are all pain points that if someone's job is to, again, source donations for nonprofits, they would read this and they'd go, holy crap, I need this. Their mouth would literally start drooling, right? So we sent them an ebook just to like warm them up and get them to feel like, oh, we know what we're talking about. And to end it off, email number 4 is just a simple case study email. So find the right funders for the right program. Have you heard of the Green Witch House? Like your organization, they're also in the healthcare space. More specifically, they help individuals and families lead more fulfilling lives by offering social and health services. And before we worked with them, they had one issue. They had 10 different programs that all generated donations for their organization. But the challenge was finding the right funder for each program, right? Finding the right donation person for each program because they had so many. In need of streamlining the process, Andrea Newman, the Chief Development Officer, came to us for help. After listening to her needs, we figured out that client software could help her solve her issues. After using our software, Andrea was then able to search across billions of records to identify the capacity and philanthropic interests of her prospects, saving her thousands of hours of research per day. If you can relate to Andrea and want to see if client software can help you achieve similar results, click here to book a demo now. Boom, hyperlink, and people would click it. Now, what's interesting about these emails is that when we sent them out on HubSpot, they weren't like typical marketing emails that are well decorated with a nice banner and like had a bunch of links and all this stuff, right? They actually literally looked exactly like how you see over here. Blank white emails. And the reason why we did that is because it feels a lot more personal when you receive a blank white email. It stands out compared to every other marketing email that's so well branded with nice images and colors and all this coding behind it. And so it feels personal. And I believe that's also a reason why this sequence over here generated 66 demo leads. And there you have it, the exact 6-part email sequence that helped my client generate 66 demo leads. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Alif Haq, and check out my website, alifhaqmarketinginc.com. A link to further resources down below in the description of this video. And my friend, I will see you in the next one. Peace, peace, peace.